Hey, I'm Dave Watkins, Watkins Films. Today we're going to take a look at the recent 4K release of the 1971 film, The Blood on Satan's Claw. This was released by 88 Films, the 88 Films UK. There is a US division of this, but this is released by the UK one. It is a 4K disc, so I was able to play it in my player. 4K is typically region free. It also includes a Blu-ray disc that is region B that you probably won't be able to play unless you have a region free player or one that plays region B disc. This horror movie is part of the Tigon Collection. Tigon British Film Productions. It was a film production and distribution company. They were in direct competition with Hammer Films and also Amicus Productions. But they put out The Blood on Satan's Claw and the Creeping Flesh, also The Witchfinder General. This is with Vincent Price, and this is an excellent movie, and I may in the future do a video on it. But let's take a look at this, and this is the first 88 Films movie I've bought. I believe all this yellowness going on here is part of the Tigon Collection specifically, because as you see, the Vincent Price one also has that, which is well, not on the back, but which is I think is a pretty cool aesthetic. New cover art here for this release is I really like this cover art, and even the back cover art is very nice. Let's take a look at the inside of it. Now, they do have a reversible cover here. Now, this is the original cover art that came with the movie. It's very simplistic, which is kind of cool, but to me, this new one is much more iconic. It really, to me, it just makes the movie look a lot more badass than this. There's also a colored version of that. And this is a booklet with some pictures of the movie, and here you have this is the Blu-ray of the movie, and here is the 4K. So this is Patrick Wymark, who plays the judge in the movie. He's top billed, a fairly prominent character in the film. The part was originally offered to Peter Cushing, who was unable to do it because his wife was ill at the time. Christopher Lee's price tag was too high, so they offered it to Patrick Wymark, who did the part, obviously. This is his last movie that was released in Britain. He died the following year. But he does he's got a fairly good presence here. I think that he really, to me, looks like a judge, and he's a lot of intensity. You know, he walks in the room, he kind of demands the attention of everyone there, similar to the other horror icons like Cushing and Lee. I think that had he lived longer, he may have been more remembered for if he continued to do horror parts like them. Very nice part. Now this is a folk horror movie. So there's it takes place in the English countryside, and what happens is they uncover a farmer accident while plowing a field uncovers a weird skull in the ground, and it begins. There's a demonic presence that's unleashed in this village, and it starts to have effects on everybody there. Folk horror has recently become more popular, where Robert Eggers releasing The Witch and Midsommar. There's also a very nice Severin Productions put out this All the Haunts BRs set that has a lot of different folk horror movies in it. Now, The Blood on Satan's Claw, in my opinion, I think is better than any of the films in this collection. Not to dog on this, but it is. I liked it more than most of the ones in the collection. As far as the transfer of the film, it's the first time I've seen this movie, but it is a 1971 film, and it looks terrific. Now, this transfer is. It doesn't say that it's. Here's what it says. It says brand new 4K remaster from the original negative presented in ultra high definition. So it is from the original camera negative, and the master is in very good shape. I don't see a lot of there's some grain there, which is going to happen with film, and you want the grain to be there, but there's not like an overabundance of it. Everything looks very clean. I was very impressed with the presentation of this movie. And 88 Films in general, I have to look at some of their other productions and see if they do as good a job on them as this. But this movie looks fantastic, and it's very sharp and very clear on the faces. You see a lot of detail. Now, unlike with this production here, there is a lot of exterior scenes. A lot of them takes place in the woods, outside, even darker scenes, and all of it looks very artistic like, and very. If you have seen any folk horror, it kind of plays in with this. There's a lot of the village looks very quaint. Even when it shows the farmhouses and stuff, they got a bunch of moss on the roofs and a bunch of like farm animals all around. So the production values are very good here. I think a lot of it is because they shot on location, and they had a very cool location. So they didn't really, I don't know if they had to do a lot to it, but maybe they did, maybe they didn't. But it looks very authentic to me. With the exception, they have some really funky looking wigs on some of the characters. The judge obviously is a judge, so he's gonna be wearing a wig. But some of the other guys, at first I thought they were supposed to be wigs, but they kind of just look like fake wigs in general. At the same time, I'm okay with it. I'm not gonna not watch it because of the wigs looking funny. I think it maybe adds a little bit to it that the wigs don't look quite right. And if you can put it in your head, like maybe they're wearing wigs because it's that time, but I don't know. Anyway, but I would recommend The Blood on Satan's Claw, and I'm going to be looking at more 88 Films Productions stuff in the future and seeing what they got going. Dave Watkins, if you can take a like to this video and do all that subscribing stuff if you haven't done so already. At the very least, just like it. That'd be cool.